I'm 22 years old, and 5 years ago, I set out with a partner to climb Mount Washington in the winter. We made some bad decisions, and we got caught in blizzard conditions for 3.5 days. I ended up losing both of my feet 6 inches below the knee. I believe in the philosophy that the more you suffer, the more you appreciate life and the happier you become. That's been true for me. Because what you're going through is living hell. And when you come out of it, when the pain decreases, it's heaven. I had an amputee doctor that told me I wouldn't be able to ride a bike. I would need hand controls when I drove a car. He also said that I would not be able to walk without the assistance of canes. I would never be able to climb again. I started climbing when I was still in the rehabilitation center. I was really, really weak. I crawled to the base of the climbs. I made a lot of bad decisions during the Mount Washington epic, which caused the death of a rescuer. I've always felt extremely bad about that. I felt that I've failed as a climber. I'm extremely angry that I let that happen, that I put myself in that situation and others, and someone ended up dying for my mistakes. Through this anger, this extreme anger at myself and at my failure as a climber, I wanted to climb again, to prove that I could do it again, to prove that I could be confident. And quite simply, I started climbing again because of my love for the sport. I'm not happy unless I'm obsessed. I live to be inspired by something. I live for direction. I live for intensity. I have a very, very strong will. And once I have an idea implanted in my brain, once I have a goal, I never stop until I accomplish it. I have found And I've always believed that with every disadvantage, there are advantages. And this is this process of taking my physique, my muscles, as well as my artificial legs, and conforming them in such a way that I become a climbing machine. That's been the theme of my entire life. When I first got my first pair of artificial legs, they seemed to be very ugly devices to me. At that time, I wanted desperately to be normal. I wanted just to have normal shoes like everyone else. I wanted to wake up in the morning and just put shoes on. I didn't want to put artificial legs on. So what I did, I imagined that I was putting on giant ski boots. It was much easier for me to swallow a new pair of shoes than to swallow losing my legs. The strangers around me do not realize that I'm walking on carbon fiber and titanium. I hide it from them. Partly because I know if they'd find out, they'd have 1,000,001 questions. And I really don't want to answer them. And partly because I'm not interested in the shock value. I used to be. I used to walk around with tubes running from my jeans. I sort of wanted to show off my artificial legs because I was proud that what I was doing with them. The men who design artificial legs attempt to make them appear as regular human legs. They are designed for walking and dancing, period. They are miserable for the sport of rock climbing. What I've done is to design special tools which stick to small rock edges and that wedge into tiny rock fissures. My height is adjustable. I can be as short as 5'4" and as tall as I'd like. Other climbers, they go out and they buy specialized rock climbing shoes. I cannot do that. I have to sit down by a chalkboard and think up a design, and it's all done solely by myself. I have no outside help. So what I create is mine. When everything comes together, when my muscles are strong, when my weight is right, when my feet are working properly, when it all comes together, something incredible happens. That's what makes it worth it. see that my feet are working. They're camming in some small crack. They're edging a small hold. And my designs are working, and I'm adapting. I'm a cat who uses tools. The harder the climb is, the more I sweat, the more I challenge myself to get to the top, the greater I feel. If the climb isn't challenging, if I didn't really work to get there, then the sense of accomplishment is less. So in the greatest climbs that I've done were the ones where I barely made it to the top, the ones where I sweated and worked and planned and designed, and eventually I was able to get to the top. Only then is the feeling incredible and romantic and everlasting.